My talk is about building sustainable cities, and the rest of the line also had the word smart cities, and I would like to sort of strike the word smart cities from that, because this word smart sort of gives the impression of a very technology-oriented approach to building sustainable cities. But I come from a belief that it's not technology that will solve our problems, but a whole lot of conceptual approach to looking at cities and design that will solve the problem, not so much technology. So, and there are a lot of things to talk about when you talk about building sustainable cities. Now, there is the built environment that we can talk about, which is the buildings, the infrastructure, and so on. Then there is the social dimensions of building sustainable cities, the building the community. Now, how do cities come together as a community that houses aspirations of a lot of people, the economy and their lives, and how does it lead to joy and well-being? That's an important dimension to a sustainable city. And then there are probably multiple dimensions, but I'm going to restrict my conversation to talking about the built environment, but not so much the building side, because the building side, I'm sure over the next 2 days, a lot of people are going to talk about it, and a lot of people know about green buildings and so on. But I'm really going to focus more on the infrastructure, and hence I've titled my presentation Sustainable Infrastructure for Building Sustainable Cities. And let's see what that is all about. So first, a quick look at our cities today. So in spite of many large infrastructure projects, has the quality of your lives improved? Because that's the ultimate goal of a sustainable city. People should have good quality of life. Do we get better water, sweet, wholesome, reliable supply? I don't think so. Do we have more parks, gardens, and playgrounds? No, most of them are getting occupied, and we don't have enough of them. Do we have cleaner and neater public places, less garbage? I don't think so. Do we travel quicker and reach our destinations faster? I don't think so, again. And so are we able to do more with less? That's the question I think we need to ask. And I don't think that is the case. And these sort of sites that you see here, they're not very uncommon. This is not just in our country, but in many other countries. This is what urbanization means for a lot of people. The kind of situations you see here, poor children from slums, putting their lives at risk, as you can see here. I think we have to ask this question: is there something wrong? Are we missing something? What is this whole urbanization phenomenon all about? We keep talking about numbers very proudly, but we are not handling it well at all. So where are the problems and where are the solutions? For that, I just like to take a step back and look at what is the evolving sort of understanding of infrastructure itself. I think till about 5 years ago or so, I've been in infrastructure for the last 20 years. Most of us used to associate infrastructure with a physical asset, for example, a water network. That is what we understood as infrastructure. Then our understanding improved to say it's not just the physical asset, there is a service element to it. So it is physical asset plus service. So it's not water infrastructure, because the infrastructure may not function. It is water service. It's how you get water to your taps and to you that matters. So that is, and then we have moved further a little bit, I think, to say, okay, infrastructure for whom? Is it only for the rich people and the elite, or is it for everybody? Now, does everybody deserve that service? And so we started looking at asset plus service plus the concept of what I call a community benefit. And that sort of evolved our understanding of infrastructure a little more. And now we are beginning to talk about good asset, good service, and community benefit, or everybody across income strata receive it. And also something that is, I'm calling it loosely eco-friendly, but what I mean is it should last. There's no point drilling and drawing water, and in the next 10 years if you don't have water. So infrastructure that is a service takes into account all sections of the society and our future generations is what one may call sustainable infrastructure, and I'll come back to that. And the kind of questions you would ask if you take a look at this sort of evolution is, when you just talk of basic physical asset, you're focused only on the specification, the standard, what kind of infrastructure you want to build. Maybe at best it would go towards trying to look at what is the appropriate infrastructure, how do you contextualize it, how do you make it affordable, and so on. But when you talk about service, you're more focused on not just the infrastructure, but what does it take to provide a service. And then you start getting into debates on whether it's public good, private good, when you start looking at the community and affordability and those sort of questions. And when you really put all of it together, when you start looking at infrastructure not just as an asset, but as an asset plus service plus community benefit plus environmentally acceptable kind of thing, then it becomes sustainable infrastructure. And let's also look at, and that sort of infrastructure in my view stands the test of time.